Hey, what is going on, guys? DK back at you with another video here to break down the 7-game DFS slate on Draftkings. If this is your first time watching, well, cover content for NBA DFS, NFL DFS, as well as player prop content. The sponsor of the video, that would be Parlay Play, guys. If you've been watching, I'm sure you're familiar with Parlay Play by now. But if you're not, it is a player prop site where you're building out slips of player props. All the different sports they offer are up here. And you can win up to 155x your money. So if you guys do want to give it a try, you can use the link down below for a $100 deposit match bonus. And if you do click that link and deposit, it does help support the channel. They do offer discounted lines a lot too, slash lines. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, as always, if you're looking for more content, you can check my Patreon link down below. Recapping tonight, well, ended up entering the Millie Maker. It didn't go well. Not go well. Played LaMelo Ball. Played LaMelo Ball. Okay, let's talk about this 7-game slate. Utah, Washington's first game here. On the Utah side, I mean, there's a good amount to like here. Last game was a massive blowout, so don't read too much into the rotations there. Lauri Markkanen in a competitive game, you should see low to mid 30s minutes from him. Nice eligibility, reasonable price point, and great matchup. Colin Sexton, I mean, he has been playing out of his mind, and his minutes have ticked up too. This game was overtime, but still, 35 in regulation there. I mean, if he plays 30 plus minutes at 6.6, he's still underpriced here. I don't know if he can continue to shoot this well, but man, I mean, can't deny how well he has been playing. I think like Clarkson is like a good pivot off of Sexton. I think Sexton will be a lot more popular tomorrow. Clarkson should play similar minutes, maybe a little bit more, and has a similar ceiling. So Clarkson, I think, is a good contrarian play. John Collins, Walker Kessler, they should split the center position. You got $5K for Collins. He had a good game last game, but he closed in garbage time for some reason, or he played most of garbage time. I'm not sure why. Both those guys are reasonable. Again, $5K for Collins, 4.9 for Kessler. You got Fettuccine Alfredo here, 4.1. He's continuously playing like mid-20s minutes. I feel like he's still a little bit underpriced. Now, he's shot pretty well last couple games, 6-9, 4-7, but yeah, totally reasonable value play there. Chris Dunn, should play somewhere in the neighborhood of like high teens, low 20s minutes. Another solid value, does have nice eligibility. Sadly, my boy Keontae George, minutes have been way down. Now, he did play 25 minutes last game, but again, that was a massive blowout, so like, You're going to see some Kelly Olynyk too. He only played 14 minutes. On average, he's probably playing, mid to high teens minutes. 3.6 is cheap. So, again, I have a lot of interest in Utah. I think there's like a lot of these guys look pretty good for their salaries. Now, on the Washington side, so I believe it was he's a big game from Kuzma. I don't think they're updated now, but you had a big game from Kuzma, a big game from Denny, and then Gafford got in foul trouble tonight. Bagley got extended, played really well. Yeah, I mean, I think all like the starters I have interest in Kuzma, Tyus, Denny, Poole. Maybe not. I mean, Gafford, Bagley, I still don't know how that center rotation is going to work. 2 games ago, Gafford played 30 minutes. Last game, though, Gafford got in foul trouble. Or the game tonight, Gafford got in foul trouble, so Bagley got extended. So, like, if you want to take a shot in either Gafford or Bagley, you can in tournaments. But I think, like, Poole, Denny, Tyus, and Kuzma are all reasonable tournament plays. I think Kuzma probably has the highest floor. I don't know what I know he had a big game tonight. I don't know exactly what he finished with, but yeah, then Koulibaly's 4.2, probably the only other bench guy I would have a little bit interest in. He has been getting extended a bit recently. All right, Philadelphia and the Pacers. So no Melton, no Bamba. We got to keep an eye on the status of Marcus Morris is probable. I believe Tobias is questionable. Tobias is questionable, so that could open up some value here for the 76ers. Gross value that I don't really want to deal with because the whole offense is this man. 105 fantasy points last slate. I showed you guys that lineup. I cashed without Chalk and Embiid. We had 105 fantasy points. But again, great spot. He's still too cheap. Listen, he's the top spend up on the slate. It's not close. He looks amazing. Maxey at 8.6. I mean, he continuously plays big minutes too. I think he's a fine pivot off of Chalk and Embiid if you want to get kind of different in tournaments. If Tobias misses, you should get more run for Oubre, Batum, Marcus Morris, maybe even a little bit of Pat Beverly. So those guys would be more in play if Tobias does not play. For the Pacers, so Haliburton's out for a bit next few games. So you're going to get Nembhard, McConnell splitting the point guard position. Nembhard had a solid game last game in 27 minutes. saw TJ McConnell come off the bench, play 21 minutes. I think both the guards are fair plays at their respective price points. McConnell's a slightly better point per minute guy of the two, but I do expect Nembhard to play more. Miles Turner, I mean, his minutes are just like literally all over the place. We do have to keep an eye on the status of Jalen Smith. He's questionable. If he misses, I would feel a little bit better about the minutes for Turner. But again, you do have Turner's foul prone. He's going up against Joel Embiid, so you do have to factor that in. Siakam, price point has been dropping on him, 7.1K. I think you should expect like 35 or so minutes from him, which makes him a decent option, in my opinion. The rest of the wings, like kind of just tournament plays with like Buddy Hield and Mathurin and Naismith. You guys know what I'm going to say by now, right? They ride the hot hand with those guys. I will say Isaiah Jackson at 3.6 is a little bit interesting, especially if Jalen Smith can't go, because if Jalen Smith is out and Miles Turner gets in foul trouble, next man up is Isaiah Jackson. And he actually is a good point per minute guy, so we'll keep an eye on that news. But yeah, I think Isaiah Jackson's a sneaky tournament play there if Jalen Smith can't play. Minnesota, Brooklyn. So Conley ended up missing the game tonight. You saw my boy NAW pick up a start. You saw a little more run for slow-mo. So those two guys would benefit if Conley does not play. We had top end guys, 8.4 for Ant, 8.2K for Cat. I mean, not necessarily like a great spot against the Nets, but both feel a little bit underpriced. So I have interest in both those guys. Gobert 7.5, no real strong take on him. Nas Reed, we know he's a good point per minute guy, but probably plays around 20 minutes. I don't know if it's necessary to go there. McDaniels, I mean, he's been playing 30 plus minutes if he can avoid foul trouble. But I think he's like a reasonable value play. He hasn't been that popular at all recently, too. So he's like a guy I've been keeping my eye on as like, contrarian play. Because he's playing big minutes as long as he avoids the foul trouble. And then, like I said, like NAW, slow-mo, those guys would both benefit if Conley can't play. For Brooklyn, Ben Simmons and Sharp still out. You do have Cam Johnson, questionable too. That's somewhat significant. If Cam Johnson's out, I think like Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal play a little bit more. Maybe you get a little more run again for a guy like Lonnie Walker too. But at the top, Mikal Bridges, reasonable price point. He's been playing better of late. 45 plus fantasy points now in 3 of the last 5 games. Again, he's the number one option. Reasonable price plus nice eligibility too. So yeah, I like the ceiling there on Bridges. And then Nick Claxton, the minutes have been really solid for Claxton, right? When was the last time he played under 30 minutes? It was this game. So we know Claxton's about a fantasy point per minute player. This is a big team for Minnesota. So as long as he avoids foul trouble, I mean, I think you can expect like low to mid 30s minutes from Claxton. Cam Thomas is 5.6. So his minutes of production is kind of all over the place because it depends on if he's shooting well. If he's playing well, shooting well, they will extend him. And we know the ceiling's there in Cam Thomas. So he's always someone like I'm interested in for tournaments. Dinwiddie DSJ. So Dinwiddie had been playing consistent minutes until that last game, 19. They went to Dennis Smith Jr. So again, like they kind of go with the hot hand here with these two guards. They're both playable. Like I said, Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, those guys look better if Cam Johnson does not play. Denver and New York. I mean, I have interest in both Jokic and Murray. They're playing big minutes right now, competitive games. 38, 38, 36, and 37 minutes over the last 4 games for Jokic. Jamal Murray, 38, 37, 39, and 37 minutes over the last 4 games. I think factoring in salary, I would prefer Jokic 11.3 to Murray at 8.7, but I like both. No real strong takes on the other guys, and Michael Porter Jr., Gordon, or KCP. And as always, these bench guys are cheap, so like they're playable. Reggie most likely plays around 20 minutes. Probably the bench guy I feel the best about. You'll see some Peyton Watson at 3.4. You'll see some Christian Brown at 3.2. You'll probably see a little bit of DeAndre Jordan right now backing up Jokic. So the bench guys, the price points are really cheap, so they are definitely playable. For New York, we had to keep an eye on the stats of Isaiah Hartenstein. He is questionable. If he misses, you should get Jericho Sims in a Chua splitting center position. Now, Jericho Sims did play more than I thought he would last time out, myself and the entire field, because Achua was massive chalk off the bench, and no one played Jericho Sims. But yeah, Sims, I want to say, played 27 minutes or something. It was not great. He played the first half, I think, about 18 minutes. I was sweating it because I only had 6 minutes of Achua, but Achua played more in the second half there. As far as the top end guys go, listen, Randall, Brunson, I mean, they're just playing big minutes, 37 to 39 minutes a game really for these two, dominating the usage. They're both solid options. OG also is just playing huge minutes, competitive games, averaging like around 40 minutes a game over the last 5 games. DiVincenzo and Hart, both okay options. I think factoring in salary, I would prefer Josh Hart to DiVincenzo. And then, yeah, Achua, Sims are both going to be playable values here if there is no Hartenstein, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Achua, the better point per minute guy of the two with those two centers. Boston and Miami. So looks like Boston's fully healthy. this one should be a good game to watch. Maybe not so much for DFS purposes. There's nothing that stands out for Boston. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, White, Drew. I mean, can you play these guys in tournaments on 7-game slate? Of course. But I'd be lying to you if anyone stands out. Now, maybe if one or two guys get added to the injury report, then we can start looking to Boston more. But to be honest, Boston's is a team I'll probably pass on. And then for Miami, so you did have Rozier in his first game come off the bench. I assume he'll probably start this game, but we'll see. Also, Kevin Love did not return. It was an illness, I want to say, or yeah, it was an illness. You saw Thomas Bryant get dusted off. He's the flat min price. If there is no Kevin Love, then I think you could at least take a shot at a min price Thomas Bryant that will probably play whatever Bam does not play. But yeah, once again, like Bam, Jimmy, Rozier, Hero, I don't know. Nothing stands out. So, yeah, game in general, I just think is not great for DFS. All right, Sacramento, Golden State. So my boy Sabonis, he's been playing out of his mind recently. 50 plus fantasy points now in the last 4 games. Playing huge minutes too. 39, 38, 38 over the last 3 games. I like him at 9.9 and De'Aaron Fox at 9K. Production's been a little bit more up and down with him, but he has a similar ceiling. Keegan Murray is playing pretty consistent minutes too in competitive games. He's consistently playing 30 plus minutes, so I think he's a pretty safe play right now. Malik Monk at 6K, been averaging like 25 to 30 minutes a game. He has a pretty high ceiling. Always have interest in him for tournaments. Kevin Huerter's been playing better of late, and his minutes have ticked up. We've seen a couple, insane games from Huerter. I would say those are definitely outlier performances, but still playable there in tournaments. What was it Harrison Barnes? Was it last game? Yeah, he had a huge game. It's like these Kings wings. You never know which one's going to be. Like Murray and Huerter and Barnes. You got Trey Lyles at 3.7. Minutes have not been great on him, but we have seen games where Lyles has pushed for 20 plus minutes, so he's like an okay contrarian value. I don't think I can stomach anything else though off the bench. Golden State, so I assume everyone that is out is once again, or was out tonight, or is once again out. We'll see what the rotation looks like for Golden State. That game just started a little bit ago, but yeah, always have interest in Steph Curry at 9.3 in an up-tempo game. Clay, 6.5K, no real strong takes on him. They started what? It was Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Saric, and Looney tonight. So again, I want to see what the minutes look like for these wings, but yeah, like Podziemski and Kuminga and Draymond and Saric and Wiggins. All these guys look pretty similar to me. Like I said, I want to see what the minutes look like tonight for Golden State. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going to play it. I want to see what everyone finished with tonight with those wings. And then it's a back-to-back, so maybe one or two of these guys sit. Like maybe Draymond sits. If that's the case, like Kuminga would benefit, Wiggins would benefit, Saric should benefit, right? So you could see that in a back-to-back. And then the final game here is Chicago and the Lakers. So no Levine, Patrick Williams is probable. Now, as I've been saying all year with Chicago, right? When there's one guy way more popular than the other, I just tend to prefer the lower own option. Or, if there's two guys getting a lot of ownership, but one guy not, like I'm just prefer the low own option. So like last slate, DeRozan was chalk and Vooch and Kobe White were low own. So I played low own Kobe White and it worked out for 60 fantasy points. Now it's not going to work out every time, but I'm just going to continue to do that. And it's been working out for me in the long run for Chicago. So again, Vooch, Kobe White, DeRozan, these guys all look better with Zach LaVine off the court. Not a bad spot here. Ownership's going to play a big role. If, for example, DeRozan is once again the guy getting a lot of ownership and Kobe White and Vooch not as much, then I'm going to prefer Vooch and Kobe White. And that's, again, just looking at it straight up. Obviously, the rest of your lineup plays a story. And if you're playing, like, for example, if you're playing a lot of contrarian plays already, then you can maybe get to chalk DeRozan, make more sense. But, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying here. As far as the rest of Chicago goes, Caruso in a revenge game, he should play 25 to 30 minutes or so. I think he's pretty safe. Pat Williams, I think, is a pretty safe value, assuming he avoids foul trouble. I think we can expect close to 30 minutes from him. Io, the one guy off the bench, is playing decent minutes, 32, 28, and 30 over the last 3 games. Another reasonable value play. I don't think I get to anyone else, though. Drummond minutes are down. He's not playing alongside Vooch anymore. Carter's barely playing. You might see a few minutes for Dalen Terry, but, they're just playing their main guys big minutes. Vooch, White, DeRozan, Caruso, Pat Williams should be the starters. Then you're going to get Io playing good minutes at the bench, and then probably again a little bit of Drummond, a little bit of Carter, maybe a little bit of Terry. For the Lakers, really just comes down to LeBron, right? If LeBron is in, there's not a ton that I love here. I think D'Lo and Bron, factoring salary, would probably be my preferred options. But if LeBron is out, that changes everything. Then I'm really high in AD. The Sharks that locked in AD last night were punished for absolutely no reason. 0 blocks and 0 steals. How on earth did the Faders know? But yeah, AD would be a really good play here if LeBron doesn't play. D'Lo's been playing out of his mind, too. He played 40 minutes last game, too. He would look better. Austin Reeves would look better. Reeves had a subpar game, but he did play 34 minutes. So, like, D'Lo, Reeves, AD would all be really good plays. If LeBron is out, Brewery would be one of the best values in the slate. If LeBron is out, he started to play 30 minutes. The other wings / values look better, too. Torian Prince played 33 minutes last game. Jared Vanderbilt is 3.9K. He played 25 minutes. He had a good game. Christian Wood is 3.6. Not as excited about him because he's only got center eligibility, but still would be reasonable as well. So, yeah, there'll be a lot to like here from the Lakers if LeBron James is out. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the video. Keep an eye out for the Prize Picks one. We did hit both our plays today. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys all